I'm with Justin Tonna, affiliate expert and most recently of Cafe Rocks. Justin, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me, Tim. Really great to be here.
Looking forward to speaking to you about a very specific topic we've got in mind. We're looking for a US affiliate masterclass, but we're talking mainly about RevShare. To start with, could you talk to us about the importance of RevShare? Because I mean, I know a lot of affiliates will agree with you, but I know that you have some thoughts on exactly what it means for the industry.
Sure. So RevShare is let's break it down to its basic parts. RevShare is a share of the revenue that a customer spends at a sportsbook or casino, and is different from what we would know as CPA deal, which is a fee you receive for sending a lead to the casino or sportsbook. RevShare is important to the affiliate marketing, or let's say the gaming affiliate marketing, because it's a little bit more unique to the gaming world, in that it provides long-term income. And many, especially the larger and older affiliates, their revenue bases are built around long-term customers that they have sent out to partners, and they receive a share of the revenues on. Without that rev share, if the rev share was ever taken away, that would dramatically change business viability for some affiliates.
So in terms of who it benefits the most, so let's say a market operators and affiliates, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So who's it important for? And the answer is both. And why is it important for both? Well, for the partner, it provides a cheaper way of generating leads. If I'm just starting out with a new casino or sports brand, I can do deals with affiliates in which I'm offering them rev share. So I'm not making immediate upfront payments. And the payments that I'm going to make to my marketing affiliates who are sending leads is it's paid for as I generate my own money. So I'm sharing the money profits that I generate with them. So you send me customers, I'll share some of the profits. With CPA, I would need to have a fixed budget as a partner and say, okay, I can afford, if each lead is costing me $150, I can afford you to send me 1,000 or 5,000 leads in a month, but I can't take more than that because I don't have budget to do it. And I'm hoping that I can then convert those leads into lifetime customers. So it's a bit more of a gamble, especially for the smaller brands. And if there's one thing that really makes the sports betting and casino industry interesting and fun to work with and attractive to affiliates, it's a large number of brands who are operating. We've seen it with poker, when it comes down to a smaller number of brands, the marketplace changes, and affiliates to some extent, I would say, lose their relevance. Now, for the affiliate, what's really good about RevShare is that it provides long-term income. With a CPA deal, where I send you leads, you make me a payment, it's one and done. Whereas with RevShare, you're building loyalty with certain brands. And you can see this with some of the really big affiliates where they're promoting and dealing with the same brands time and time again. It makes for good business relationships and a feeling of, hey, we're in this together. What can I help you more with? Where can I fill in gaps for you? How can I send you more traffic? So, whereas with CPA deals, if I'm just sending traffic, I get my payment, I might be working with another partner in 3 months' time. And so it makes for much more fluid business relationships. And certainly within the affiliate world, where you want to make sure, as a responsible affiliate, that you are recommending brands who are looking after their customers and doing well because your business is based on trust, then those long-term deals definitely go hand in hand with that type of building trust. You want to make sure that if I'm going to be, you're going to spend a lot more time vetting brands and partners that you work with when you're dealing with long-term revenue share.
In the US right now, is this particularly relevant and maybe beneficial because player acquisition costs, especially in kind of sports betting, are so high? But obviously, as you say, you want to encourage a market with more and more kind of big players and brands in there. Right now, we potentially have a risk in some states of, you've got your DraftKings, FanDuel, and BetMGM, and beyond that, you don't have too many brands with that much market share.
Yes, so let's talk a little bit about Massachusetts and their banning of revenue share. And I think there's a danger in banning revenue share with affiliates for a couple of reasons. But regulation is there to protect customers, but more than that, it's to ensure that there are certain quality standards in place on both operator and affiliate side, that the customers are getting proper advice and that the advice, they're not being manipulated in any way. And that's nothing unique to gaming, right? There's a million courses out there for salespeople on how to deal with customers and how to do all that. It brings in a certain level of standards, which I think is really important in the gaming industry. Now, if you're stopping the rev share, you're moving affiliates more to that fluid, hey, I'm dealing with you today, I might not be dealing with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I also think that it will lead you to be less invested within staying in a market for a long term. A revenue share provides a certain foundation of revenue that you know is coming in on a regular basis that allows you to build on and makes the market far more attractive. Without that revenue share, it really shrinks the marketplace because all the traffic, all the conversion sits in the top 3 to 5 places in the search result. So it means certainly for smaller affiliates who might not be in those places or might not have the budget to get into those top places, then it's going to be very, very hard for them to generate realistic revenue. And of course, then that makes it, it's not so attractive even for partners because you might want to get rid of some of your marketing costs, but if you're making it very unattractive for affiliates, are you really going to do all your business just through PPC and billboard advertising and TV advertising? We're already seeing that where TV, you cut the rev share on the affiliates and then you say, hey, hold on a second, there's far too much advertising on TV about the gambling and gaming, or there's too much out of home advertising. I think affiliates feel a valuable niche within what a customer needs when they're looking for a gambling site. They're there to filter out and offer options. And if you're building long-term relationships with brands, you can provide a lot more information about that brand and a lot more, there's a lot more invested in that relationship. So when somebody like, when a state like Massachusetts takes away rev share, I think that's quite a big signal for affiliates who say, I don't really think that that's going to be a great place. And then if you restrict the choice of users, are you really offering them the protection? And if the number of operators drops, then the terms that they offer don't need to be so competitive. Customer loses out again. And also, you can see that as the number of operators restrict, if you're looking at the search results, then search around unlicensed brands tends to go up. And then you have to ask yourself, are you really protecting the customer? If the customer wants to go off and find it, like they want the choice for their money, this is their entertainment budget at the end of the day, they should have the choice. And they should be able to have access to as much information as possible around that.
It's a bit of a crystal ball question, but how can a regulator like in Massachusetts, do you think with time they'll see the results of potentially that ban on revenue share and change their mind, or will it take kind of stakeholders within the industry to not necessarily campaign, but just to say, hey, have a look at this market isn't as competitive as it could be, and this is a reason why?
I think it can be tough for regulators who've made very public declarations to then backtrack on those declarations.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not easy to turn around and say, hey, we made a mistake, we're going to change it. I think, especially the way the operators and affiliates communicated, I think they made it quite clear with the regulator that this could lead to these type of issues. And this is why it is an important part of a business model that has worked and continues to work in many, many other territories. I think that it will narrow the field, and anything that narrows the field and restricts customer choice is not going to be a good thing. I wouldn't expect it to change quickly, because even for them to evaluate whether it has or has not been successful, it's going to take quite some time. I don't expect that we'd see it within 12 to 24 months. I think they would need at least that long in order to have enough data to say whether or not it was good or bad anyway.
Yeah, and I think that puts the emphasis on that initial decision when the market's quite new and launching. And I think to that end, my sort of final area of conversation for you is moving forward. When more states open up, or certainly the existing states that already a lot of sports betting online is launching a lot already. Do you see newer states implementing revenue share, or and if they do, what happens to the market? Obviously there's we've talked about the cons of not having it. What happens to a good healthy market where there is revenue share?
I think I can understand, reading the regulator's judgment, I can understand what they are looking to achieve. Right? They're out there to say, hey, we don't feel comfortable with sending people to a gambling site and you taking a share of the profit. To advertise that and take a share of the profit. Although that's a common affiliate model. It is like across whether you're selling across whatever industry it is, it's still a common affiliate model. But I understand gambling is a more sensitive topic, and I can understand what they're looking to achieve there, what they're uncomfortable with. I do think that it just means that affiliates will look to other markets, or there will be existing people who already have a big foothold there. And again, it will boil down to a couple of big operators and big affiliates that just dominate that niche, which doesn't really give the customer the same exposure, the same level of depth that they would get in more open markets. I would expect other states to look at things that are happening and quite possibly follow suit. There are some who might, especially more conservative states, that don't want or want to feel that they're doing the best regulation possible. We even see it from some rumblings from European regulators along the same lines. I think that will change the market quite a lot. Rev share allows growth within the industry. It allows opportunity to new affiliates. It allows opportunity to new operators, as we've discussed. And I think anything that would stop innovation within this industry, because it has become quite stable and quite similar.
Mm-hmm.
I think anything that would stop innovation within our industry is not necessarily a good thing. And it's not good for the customer at the end of the day, because they're the ones who generally benefit from innovation.
Mm-hmm. Well, Justin, thanks very much for your time. Really informative as always. And yeah, let's see how things play out in Massachusetts. I think New York, where this is kind of an issue as well, and other states across the board.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd be very curious to see what does come up within the US. Obviously, it's such a big market and so attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather see licensing and stronger advertising regulations than just simply removing attacking business models, essentially.
Yeah,
but thanks again for having me, Tim.
No, not a problem. Pleasure as always.